They done took down Puff. They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people.
But I know they went up to the feds one day and they took some paperwork up there to him.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday.
But like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
Man, that was 50 Cent. No one's scared of 50 Cent. I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
I think it was kind of taken out of context a little bit, but what do you think about it?
I don't think it was taken out of context. No, I think the guy who was talking to him made him feel like a punk. You see what I'm saying? So he had to say, yo, nobody scared of 50. Let's get this clear. Nobody is scared of 50. You know, but I'm not the issue. Him making you feel like a punk is the issue. And at the end of the day, I look at it and people don't assess themselves. Even really intelligent people. Jay's a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? He'll analyze other people and other things that they're doing and not actually look at what's happening to him and his transition and difference.
Jay, your music saved my life, man. We're Sagittarius too, Bob. Thank you so much.
Jay-Z and Diddy once seemed untouchable, shielded by power and loyalty. But the documentary shows how quickly alliances thin when influence shifts. As scrutiny surrounded Diddy, public silence remained, while behind the scenes, a once solid bond quietly turned cautious and strategic.
They done took down all these other powerful black people. Jay-Z's like the lone standing powerful black man.
You do the track wrestling on them. Jay is them people. You do the history of most of the people that got in trouble in the industry, big trouble, who they went to for help?
That's true.
When Lil Wayne was in trouble, who did he go to? When Meek Mills was in trouble, who he go to? Meek Mills said it himself. Desiree helped me. You understand? So how could he be up next? You know what I'm saying? He is them people. They go to him when they got problems. And what they gonna say if he don't come up and nothing? What they gonna say? Told you, he ain't got nothing to do with that. They still gonna cover it up anyway. But I don't think they coming after him at all. I don't think they got, like I said, I think he is them. He has a relationship with them. You talking about a woman that had a relationship with the feds for 20-something years.
For months, 50 Cent signaled that his claims weren't speculation but evidence building enough weight for a full documentary, while others chose silence. And as pressure mounted, sources suggest Jay-Z recognized the risk early and opted for caution over loyalty, creating distance, limiting exposure, and leaving behind a silence that felt deliberate rather than coincidental.
You got an agent, your agent that's in charge of you. You think she don't have no relationships with over the years with all these agents that became retired and connected and this and that and the third till they just know she got power. That's power over there. You know what I'm saying? Who you wanting one on your side? You got them on your side? You know what I'm saying? If something happened with him, it's going to be about a money situation. It ain't going to be nothing that's going to hurt. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't see them going after him. You know what I'm saying? But everything Jaguar be saying do flourish.
What surprised insiders was the legal crossover itself as fresh claims emerged and Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, got involved. They repeatedly surfaced in matters connected to Diddy's growing legal pressure, with the timing and pattern suggesting calculated positioning actions designed less for public view and more to manage risk, protect interests, and secure leverage for the long term.
And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it. You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin? skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen shit yet. That Cassie shit, that's nothing. I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. Just like Diddy. And they're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that give them in the end.
Critics like Jaguar Wright argue that Jay-Z has long perfected the instinct to step back before trouble hits. And as Diddy's challenges intensified, 50 Cent appeared unusually informed and unafraid, hinting that something behind the scenes had shifted. If Jay-Z anticipated sensitive material coming to light, his distance may have been intentional, protecting himself while events unfolded, even without direct statements from 50 Cent. The implication lingers. The fracture may have started internally, keeping the industry tense and underscoring how closely Jay-Z and Diddy's trajectories remain linked.
These are criminals. Diddy is a deal, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many up people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me, I'm trying to move beyond Diddy, I'm Love now. It seems like Jay-Z would try to run away from his past.
Calling that love and anything that he did love. Brother love. What kind of love? Baby oil love. Baby love. Baby love. Explicit love. Hey! They never thought that hip hop would take it this far.
Oh man, it's different now.
These lyrics are all hitting different right now. All that people talking about.
Jaguar argues their stories are inseparable, shaped by parallel rises and shared decisions, where movement in one direction inevitably affects the other, suggesting their bond runs too deep to simply unravel, formed by overlapping paths and unspoken chapters that make them less separate figures and more two sides of the same uneasy narrative.
Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary aneurysm, just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list.
Observers picked up on another quiet change as Jay-Z and Beyonce began losing followers without offering any response. No statements, no denials, only a polished return to business as usual. And to Jaguar, That silence didn't signal confidence, but control. A deliberate calm masked tension while pressure built quietly and unseen forces edged closer.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with.
And in her eyes, it's not just Jay-Z who's a criminal, but also his wife, Beyonce.
Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
Belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that?
I think
she went and the girl cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his big people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
Jaguar suggests the scrutiny doesn't stop with Jay-Z, extending to Beyonce not as a claim of fact, but as part of a broader narrative that keeps both figures within the same closed circle, raising uncomfortable questions without drawing conclusions and reinforcing the sense that proximity itself keeps the pressure alive.
No, I know.
Never. He said he would never sit with me. He would never have me on it. He never wanted to talk to me. Never would.
But I got receipts. Vlad, why did you reach out to Jag back in June asking for Jag to be on the show?
Why you do that, Vlad?
Vlad, why you playing in our face?
Why you lying on this podcast?
And Vlad and your fat ass wife.
We'll stop there.
Damn.
Let's be very clear. This is the email that DJ Vlad sent me, his producer sent me, asking me to appear on his podcast on YouTube just after the Cassie video was released on my birthday. I saw it. I never responded. Odell responded. Weeks and weeks later. But then again, Diddy was already in trouble, so you really didn't need to talk to me because you couldn't do much disinformation with me. I guess that's why your friend from the Star Report, or should I say the Comet Report, because he crashed out just like a comet. I guess that's why he was so upset when I started asking him relevant questions about why he's propping up a liar. At this point in time, Vlad, I think it's only fair to say that Carol Johnson, your assistant, Unless you're saying you didn't know, she sent this on your behalf.
She made clear the Piers Morgan interview wasn't staged, explaining it came through her team and that she agreed, knowing his reputation for careful vetting and legal caution. A choice that paid off as her remarks couldn't be brushed aside and triggered immediate backlash, with media figures rushing to respond and even a public dismissal from DJ Vlad, serving less as a rebuttal and more as confirmation that her words had touched a sensitive nerve.
I didn't even know Vlad was going to be on.
Oh.
Like I said, it was brilliant.
Wow.
Because everything that he said, denouncing me and then confirming me and then talking about, that all happened a day before the report about the 9-year-old boy was released. And before people started confirming that the video that was being shopped around was Bieber and Diddy. See, that's the problem with running your mouth, Vlad. That's the problem. You didn't realize on Monday that every word that you said was going to be invalidated on Tuesday. See, that's what happens when you're a liar. See, I didn't have to worry about what I said on Monday, because I knew what I said on Monday was going to hold up on Wednesday. The truth needs no support, just time and room.
She pressed the issue further, reminding audiences that months earlier, she warned sensitive material was quietly circulating. Acclaimed critics brushed off for lack of proof until legal sources connected to ongoing cases acknowledged exposure to the same material, shifting the narrative from speculation to serious concern and recasting the earlier silence as intentional rather than accidental.
They go up to the feds with all this paperwork, you understand? And I mentioned this before, you understand? They not only talking about the extortion stuff, they talking about how they trying to be made to have this what you call this promotion, this distribution thing, and which I'm finding out they wasn't even going to be a part of it until later, but they was in fear, like they was trying to be made to be a part of this whole distribution thing that Suge Knight was trying to build up with Rockefeller, because it was Dame Dash, it was Irv Gotti, it was Jay Prince, and Death Row. You understand what I'm saying? So now everybody wanna know who's this and who's that, and want to go back and say, yo, how do you know? It came from the horse's mouth. He said he got all the paperwork to prove it. Kirk Burrows said it plenty of times, but nobody won't sit down with him. I mean, like, you won't get none of these, these radio stations and all this stuff like that to sit down with him. He said, I got the paperwork. He got files from the from the DEA and the FBI, all that stuff like that. He got plenty of paperwork.
She described it as the turning point, the moment the balance shifted, explaining that falsehoods survive only through constant cover and distraction, while truth needs nothing more than time and space to rise on its own.
But Jay-Z, I didn't know about that. So Jay-Z, he told too?
Said that years ago, man. Said that years ago. What are you gonna do? They're gonna do whatever. Yo, listen to me. They're the reason why rap in New York went down the drain. They made sure that these young cats didn't come up with platforms and didn't come up with situations. Like Jay-Z, let me tell you something. Jay-Z and it's funny. It's funny. We were talking about how Puff and Ja Rule was cool. But at one time, Puff was trying to trick Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. That whole weekend that he was with Sarah. The whole weekend they was in that hotel room. That day they was in that hotel room. All the way coming back on that G5 jet. He was trying to talk Ja Rule into going at Jay-Z. But now him and Jay-Z is like freaking frat. Crazy how things work out, huh?
Figures once seen as untouchable are now being quietly connected to long-rumored moments that were dismissed years ago. As old patterns are re-examined and familiar names resurface in unexpected ways, transforming whispers into serious questions and making it clear that the silence once protecting certain reputations is no longer as solid or secure as it seemed.
He made a comment on Drink Champs and he said that Puffy was the feds. What you think about him saying that?
Well, when he's talking about the feds, he could be saying that he's their ear. Puff is the one who goes back and he tells, like he did when Suge, when Jay Prince, when Irv Gotti, I think it was Irv Gotti could have been a part of that too. When they was all trying to get that distribution company together, he the one went back and told Jimmy Iovine them, and then him and Kirk Burroughs Kirk said he didn't know what he was doing. They took paperwork and they took some stuff up to the feds, you understand, regarding Death Row now. I don't know the intricate details of what they took, but I know they went up to the feds one day and they took some paperwork.
The shift exposed how fragile alliances really are as observers pointed to Puffy's reach across media and business, protected platforms, selective consequences, and patterns that couldn't be overlooked. And when Kanye West openly challenged that influence by hinting at hidden connections, the reaction was immediate and forceful, underscoring a familiar reality. Real power doesn't announce itself. It operates quietly, decisively, and far from public view.
I guess Pac had got whiffed that Jay-Z was in town. Well, you know he gonna do a show because Jay-Z, he doing a show. But you gotta realize Jay-Z had became an enemy of Pac because I think he had said some was gonna do a song with Big or whatever like that, the whole 9 yards. So Jay is now Pac's enemy too. So Chaz Williams, who was over Black Hands. Black Hands was one of the labels who did that Black Gangster had every artist in New York on. And Chaz, who is now getting into the music business, has become a music executive. And he was once a former gangster who was on American Gangster BET because they had him down for robbing 161 banks. That's what they put in their program and everything. But Chaz was a gangster in New York City that became a music executive. So he gets a phone call saying that Jay is not going to come out the room because Tupac threatened him. So he's not going to do his show. Can he make some phone calls, you understand, to get Pac off the booth? So I think he may have talked to Big D, and Big D and Eric B called Suge, and Suge was laughing, saying that wasn't him. Because they tried to make it seem like it was Suge that was doing it, but it was Pac. So I guess Suge called Pac. Pac let him go ahead and do his show and everything like that. But Jay was scared to come out his room.
So that story was really true about Jay-Z being afraid to come out his hotel room.
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, he was scared. Probably still is scared.
Alliances appeared to shift almost overnight as observers pointed to Puffy's reach across media and business, where some coverage remained untouched, others faced swift consequences, and protection seemed uneven but intentional. When Kanye West openly challenged that influence by hinting at hidden connections, the response was immediate and severe, reinforcing a familiar truth. Real power rarely speaks loudly. It moves quietly and acts decisively.
He was trying to start Death Row East Coast. And that would have been Pac, Eric B, and you know what I'm saying, all the dudes here in New York. So then they're gonna have groups coming back and forth from Cali to New York. So it was just good business just to chill out with that. But they was trying to chill out the whole thing. They had a big meeting and Puff wouldn't send a representative or let Zip or Chaz represent him in the meeting.
Yeah, that's a wild story. Yeah, who told you this story, if you don't mind me asking?
I was there.
Oh, well, I didn't know that, man. I didn't know you was there. So you was there when Jay was scared to come out his hotel room. I had no idea, man.
I used to roll with Chaz every day, bro. And then it came out. And then it came out, somebody else told the story. But I think it may have been Dame Dash or something like that told the story. A lot of my stories get out, man, but they don't believe when I tell them.
Gene says there were later efforts to minimize or erase the story, but he stands by his account, explaining that the industry moved quickly to contain it as early attempts to unite the East and West Coasts pointed to a powerful New York-California alignment that couldn't survive open conflict. And if tensions between Tupac and Jay-Z had fully ignited, that fragile plan would have fallen apart. So the narrative was buried not to protect truth, but to preserve a future the industry was quietly engineering.